Hey everybody, this is Garage Quest the Books, and today we're talking about XANATHAR'S Extraordinary Vault. Stick around. Hey everybody, welcome back to Garage Quest the Books, the show where we talk about the books of D&D, and today we're talking about none other than the supplemental book to D&D, which is XANATHAR'S Extraordinary Vault. XANATHAR is a beholder who collects the knowledge of all of the multiverse inside of the world of D&D. Now, when you first open XANATHAR'S Extraordinary Vault, the first thing you're going to find is an exordium addressed to XANATHAR himself from his servant, Slink Montescore, a character we're just now being introduced to. Basically, this is a letter entailing what is to come in the following pages, an account of all of XANATHAR'S items that have yet to have been accounted for in previous books. It also comes with what appears to be a Tyrillian post-it note, which is found at the bottom of the page and is also found multiple times throughout the rest of the book from XANATHAR himself. Now, I think that this is actually one of my favorite parts of the book because some of these are actually quite funny. Let's move on to the next. Chapter 1 of XANATHAR'S Extraordinary Vault is committed solely to equipment. This entails all sorts of new armor and shields, such as turtle shell armor, as well as explaining daily maintenance and all of the stats involved with these armors. Chapter 1 also details all sorts of new weapons, as well as weapon-like objects, and my favorite, weapon accessories, some of which are really versatile, and I'm planning on working those into my game immediately. And of course, what equipment chapter would be complete without some new adventuring gear? You're going to find a few wonderful things in this chapter. And last but not least, in chapter 1, you're also going to find a whole horde of new vehicles. Vehicles are kind of an unexplored, untouched part of the world of Tyril. And specifically, I think that in Faerun, we kind of avoid vehicles at all costs, remaining mostly on horseback or on foot, but a carriage comes from time to time. And I think it's really clever of them to have conceived of a few more vehicles that could have worked in this world or could work in this world. And hats off to you, Wizards of the Coast. Chapter 2 of XANATHAR'S Extraordinary Vault is all about magic items, which begins with more armor, shields, and weapons, of course, followed by potions, rings, rods, staves, wands, and wondrous items of all kinds. Who doesn't love a good chapter on magical items? In fact, I honestly think that they could publish many more volumes of magical items and we'd never have enough of them. My personal favorite is the Rings of Force Armor. Now, you have to wear these, one on each hand. They act as one item with attunement, and not only do they add a +3 to your AC, but they also cause any attacker who attacks you melee or unarmed to receive 1d4 of damage, and they add 1d4 of damage to any unarmed attack you make. It's really a great way to beef up your character in an all-around sense while wearing just a couple pieces of jewelry. That gets us to Chapter 3, Artifacts. Now, these are the top 3 most precious, most valuable items in XANATHAR'S Extraordinary Vault. What are those 3 items, you might ask? Well, the first item is Book of Infinite Spells, which is, of course, a wondrous item and requires attunement. Now, the second item is the Jacinth of Inestimable Beauty. It's, of course, also a wondrous item which requires attunement. The third object is, of course, Baba Yaga's hut. Now, Baba is not a wondrous item. Baba is a construct. There's a note from XANATHAR inside the book here that reads, "Suggestions that Baba Yaga's hut comes and leaves as it pleases are false. It definitely quite secure in my vault. definitely. And now, of course, we're brought to the last chapter of Xanathar's extraordinary vault, and that is my favorite chapter of all, Chapter 4, Unusual Treasures. This chapter contains 100, exactly 100, strange and unusual artifacts, as well as their worth in gold. Now, when I say strange and unusual, I mean strange and unusual. For instance, they name everything from a baby mammoth preserved in spirits in a large glass jar worth 1,340 gold coins, all the way to 5 wigs weaved with various shades of Yeti hair, which is worth 190 gold coins. So this is a very strange and unique set of artifacts. I would think of them as something that would be on display in perhaps maybe something at the World Fair in 1920. Following Chapter 4, there's a very brief postscript from Slink himself, as well as one last loving post-it note from Xanathar, and then, of course, an index of items. There you have it. That's everything you need to know about Xanathar's extraordinary vault. I recommend you go out and get it. It's now available in hardback. And this has been Garage Quest, the books. I'm May McDonough. Please subscribe and comment below on what book you'd like us to talk about next week. See you next time. Go forth and quest.